Hey, Tadiwale here. I'd like to welcome you to today's edition of the AI Copy Crafters, where we are looking to take advantage of the current booming technology in the AI world to help us become better at copywriting and better at digital marketing. And today I want to do an experiment. I want to compare how long it will take you to use ChatGPT to write an article that will be about 3,500 words long, and compare that to my software, Private LLM, which is a front end using an open source large language model. The one we're using at the moment is Neural Chat. It changes depending on the newest, the latest, the best. So I keep just updating and using the best artificial intelligence that's in this open source world, right? Now, I believe Neural Chat is quite comparable to 3.5 Turbo, bordering on GPT-4, not GPT-4 Turbo. But I want to still use GPT-4 Turbo in ChatGPT whilst running the same article in Private LLM to see who will finish first. Would I finish first on here, ChatGPT, or will Private LLM finish first? So for those of you who are wondering what am I talking about when I say Private LLM, let me just open the app now and show you what I'm talking about. So this is Private LLM, and I'm going to be using the silo, which can be used to write multiple articles in one go. You can write up to 1,000 if you choose. You just have to kind of wait for the whole thing to finish writing. And again, this is just a front end. He's using a back end, this is the back end. And the back end runs the server. Let's just choose the model. I'm going to be using Neural Chat version 3. So the back end runs the server, which runs the large language model. Just that my front end is what's instructing the large language model to produce the content that I want. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we started the server. So I want to choose a title. I want to choose a title that actually serves the purpose of my stresstherapist.net blog. Because as you might know, whilst I write and create apps for writing and copywriting, I actually have my own blog that I run, which is called stresstherapist.net. Okay, so I want to write an article on keeping the peace as a mental health trap. So that's going to be the seed word I'm going to use, keeping the peace as an emotional trap. That's the mental health trap. So I'm going to write using Captain LLM, Private LLM, the Captain LLM, Private LLM. I'll show you what I'm doing. And I just put it to one article. So it should create one article around this subject. Okay. I need something to show the time. So it's 7:18 now. 7:18 now. It would be nice to have a stop, like a floating stopwatch. Okay, we're gonna start the stopwatch now. I wish I could start everything together, but I can't. So what I'll do, I'll start the stopwatch, start Private LLM, and then start the writing process with ChatGPT. I want to see which one will allow me to reach 3,500 words of usable content that's actually quite good. Okay, start. Right, check that Private LLM is writing. You can see that's writing. Okay, so get into ChatGPT, keeping the peace as a mentor. All right, to help me with this, I'll have to create an outline. Give me an outline. Write me a 3,000. Let's start with this process. Writing a 3,500 word article for. Let's see what happens first of all if I just try to go straight at it. Okay. So instead of writing the article, first of all, ChatGPT has opted to give me a what's that? An outline. And with this outline, what is done is give me an outline, introduction 300, psychology of peacekeeping 600, cost of, okay. So let's say use that to help me write the article. I'm trying to be as hands-off as possible. Let ChatGPT do most of the work, just like as I'm being hands-off with Private LLM. Use that to help me write the article. So let's see what happens. So we're at 2 minutes mark. So 2 minute mark, what it's done, it's not giving me 3,500 words. So what it's done, it's just still giving me some sort of summaries, because this says 600 words. This definitely not 600 words. 600 words. This definitely not 600 words. But let's just see how many words we have so far anyway. 600, 790, 700, 679. What am I talking? 679 words. Okay. Since we are not at 3,005 words, 100 years, let's try. Okay. Let's just say maybe that is not 3,500 words. Can you expand each section so that we follow the exact amount of words suggested by the outline? So if you see 600, you actually write 600 words for that section. Okay, so maybe it's obeying a little bit better now. Is that 300 words? That section. So it's 300 words. Let's see. That's 197 words, so not 300 words. So it's still done something similar. Okay, so let's go the other way. We want this to be 300 words. So let's say, I'll just take that, expand that to 300 words. 6 minutes mark. Because I'm hoping if I expand each section for as much. Okay, so one of the things you will notice straight off now is that whilst it's expanding, it's filling the article up with a lot of filler words that perhaps just makes it very hard to read. And because we're doing multiple increase like this, it may be hard. I have to do a lot of work to try and make sure things flow properly. So the intricate dance of human relationship, the role of a peacemaker is often viewed as a mark of selflessness. And I mean, it's good. It's good. As we delve deeper into the focus shifts, okay, let's see if that was up to 300, 340. That's good. Now we take the next one and we'll say expand that to threes. So expand this to 600. So we are at 8 minutes. That looks like it might be 600 words. So let's paste that in and see that we've got 600 words. Yep, that's good, 600 words. So, I mean, it's not a bad way of going about it. We just know that we have to do it this way for every article we want to write. 600 words. So the next set. Is that the next set? Yeah, that's the next. So we expand that to 600 words. So by the time we finish, we should have 3,500 words. Okay. So bear in mind as we're doing this, that ChatGPT is a top of the range system that's using a massive server, whilst Private LLM is just using my humble computer here. So we're not necessarily expecting to be able to catch up with the amount of words, but amount of speed. I'm just looking at the work it takes, the work it entails to get 3,000 words out of ChatGPT that's usable. So we've reached 1,604. with ChatGPT. Private LLM is doing its own stuff and writing on as well. Okay, I will show you what is written by the end, just to show you that Private LLM is still writing. And so far, this is what we have produced as well with Private LLM. Okay, carry on so as to keep up. Right, so let's look for the next part. Done 300, got 600. What's up there? Psychology, cost of. We are at this one now. Impact on relationship. Please expand this into 100 words. And while this is not a bad thing to do, because face it, a few years ago, to be able to get the articles written this fast was a dream. It wasn't possible. But now you're thinking, okay, now with everything being as fast as it is, this feels like a lot of work to go through to get one article completed. The first instruction, and let it get on with the work and write the whole article. I can edit it afterwards. So did I hit 600 words? Impact in relationship. Where's my word out? So we're at almost the 15 minutes mark, and we haven't still finished writing our 3,500 word article. Private LLM. Yeah. Okay. So next bit, the last bit was impact on relationship. The next bit would be breaking the cycle. Oh, wrong. I meant please expand. Okay. And this might start to be a bit long-winded because I am not speaking and entertaining you as I'm going on with the experiment. But the goal of the experiment is to see the whole writing process through and make sure. Okay, so I think there are 2 more steps to go. And then we'll edit to see whether it's given us a convincible article. So convincing article, I mean. So it's a convincible article. Okay, so breaking the cycle. I just wish that maybe ChatGPT, OpenAI would have implemented a way to just, whenever we ask for something that is a lot more than we usually give, rather than giving the small pieces and having to go through this, that you could actually just write, it writes, and then you just keep continue to make it continue. So whilst doing this for one article, let's say if you did one article a day, then this is an easy process. You just finish doing it this way and then upload. But let's say you had to do 100 articles a day, right? Which is possible nowadays. Following this kind of process will be very tedious. You'll have to be sitting here going through it. Whereas with Private LLM, you could literally write that 100 articles by just letting the computer carry on with its work whilst you're doing other things and carry on with other daily activities, and to save the articles for you on your system where you place the file, the private LLM file itself. And all you just do is come back to it and you have your articles written. Whereas if you were to do this to write your 100 articles, you'll be here the whole day still. Because we're still writing our own article and it's taking us this long. And granted, it's a big article, 3,500 words is not a joke. So in a way, this is still doing very well. Because so far we've written 3,012, right? So it looks like we're going to hit the 3,500 articles using this method of getting the outline, asking it to write the article first of all, and then expanding each section with ChatGPT. So I've got one more section, which I think is the conclusion. But conclusion, 200 once reach 3,005. because we've got 3,000 here. We want 3,005 roughly. But having like a 500 word conclusion may not necessarily be helpful, but let's see. So it took roughly 22 minutes. Let's do writing, sorry, so we haven't finished. So it's taking us roughly 3 minutes to write the 3,500 words with ChatGPT, which is good, which is very good. Private LLM is still going, so it hasn't finished, but has written up to this navigating conflict and assertiveness in relationship. It will take perhaps another 20 minutes, maybe, to complete writing. So on one hand, is it slower than going through the ChatGPT process? Yes, it's slower, but as you said, again, you are using your own PC. That's one. And two, it's doing all that writing for you without you having to go through all this process. So it's hands off. So adding another 20 minutes on top of that to get something hands off. Is that bad? Is that good? I'll leave you to be the judge. So let's just kind of quickly edit this because to some degree, Private LLM is writing and editing at the same time. So it's writing, what's happening with Private LLM is that it picks the concept up, tries to pull concepts together that matches well for the article I've written to give us a very intelligent article, very different from what ChatGPT would give you. And then for each thing, each section, it's creating a prompt for each section to get the best article out for each section and making sure that it's giving you something usable. Almost every phrase, every word, every sentence is helpful, is something that's usable in the context of what it's telling you to do. Whereas what you'll find with ChatGPT is that there may be a lot of bloat or fluff that may not be necessary. Having said that, I'm not saying ChatGPT is bad. I think it's very good compared to where we used to be. I just want to do a few things. I want to take out all that black stuff I don't like. That always happens when I use Google Chrome for some reason. Okay, so let's quickly look at this. So we've got another thing here. In order to match up with what Private LLM is doing, if I can show you what Private LLM is doing. Private LLM is writing, but each paragraph section is also having subheadlines that are meaningful. Whereas with ChatGPT, it's written the article. I've got subheadlines for the major sections, right? The psychology of peacekeeping, the cost of compromise, the impact of relationships, breaking the cycle. Oh, did I copy breaking the cycle twice? All right. That's funny. So we haven't actually reached 3,500 words. Oh, if we did breaking the cycle twice, breaking the cycle. No, impact on relationship. I'm sure it's written okay, let's go back to impact on relationship. But the kind of problems you find that you would get when you're trying to edit, that there were mistakes you made, you had to make the correction. All that is going to take time as well. So we want not that one, this one. Yes, definitely. See, all of this is what takes time. 3,465, sort of 500 words, 3,500 words. Impact on relationships, that's on heading. Cost of compromise, impact on relationship, breaking the cycle, and conclusion. Right. I mean, of themselves, those headlines are not bad. There's something here that I'm looking for. Where's the breaking the cycle? Have I deleted it by mistake? So just to kind of explain what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make sure that we have headlines that are interesting and intriguing. So somebody's coming to read this article. Your subheadings are important to help them connect and feel, okay, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's read what that has to say. That sounds interesting. Let's see what that has to say. So it's good to have loads of subheadings. For ChatGPT, it's going to leave you with maybe 5 subheadings for the 3,500 words. It's not bad. It's better than something that doesn't give you any subheadings at all. With the way we've done it, can we make the subheadings better? Yes, and more captivating. So we would need to spend some more time to make this more meaningful. The cost of constant compromise doesn't mean much in terms of anything except maybe the cost of constant compromise when you keeping the peace, or maybe the cost of constant compromise on your mental state. um I mean, as you're reading the article, you know that's what it's saying, talking about. Okay. And then again, you see somehow, I don't know why this happens. I think maybe this is something to do with Word. There's some errors that has just creeped in into this. And so that you'll find out in the same thing, whatever software you're using may start to creep place and put in some errors into your writing. And then you have to go through that and edit and remove all of that. Whereas Private LLM is just carrying on with the writing process. Then we got to go ahead and read. I could read with Private LLM as well, but the role of peacemaker is often viewed as a mark of selflessness. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to just stay here for those of you who want to see how long it will actually take for Private LLM to write an article that is as long as this, 3,500 words. What are we at? We're at the 32 minutes mark. So let me open another page and paste in what Private LLM has written so far. So at this point, at the 3,500 word mark, 3,000, 33 minutes mark, Private LLM has already written 2,940 words. And so we have all these types of settings. H2 words, the paradox of peace and mental well-being, understanding the concept of peace, the role of stress in mental health. That's interesting. Balancing emotional needs with peaceful behavior. Can you see how much in depth this is? The impact of suppressing emotions on mental health, coping mechanisms for managing negative feelings. And it goes through some coping mechanisms, all bulleted out. Navigating conflicts and assertiveness in relationship. So these are definitely things you will want to learn under that particular problem. The importance of self-care and boundaries. Recognizing the signs of mental health struggle. Yeah, I'll put something like maybe in whilst maintaining peace to make it more relatable to the content. Okay. Building a supportive network. And it's something I see most AI seem to do. Whenever you talk about mental health related things, they must put in somewhere there building a supporting network. This happens with ChatGPT, happens with every LLM I've tried. What I often do is I remove that bit if it's not necessary. But sometimes, being a mental health subject, a supporting network is necessary. I just don't want building a supportive network to be in every single article I write. Okay, finding emotional balance between peace and emotional needs is important. Okay. So at that 30 minutes, how much have we written? 3,463. 3,463. So at 36 minutes, it hasn't quite hit 3,500 words as well. 3,000. So Private LLM wrote 3,463 words in 36 minutes, and ChatGPT wrote 3,464 words in roughly 22 minutes, like we had earlier on. So, what are the pros and cons? So, first of all, with ChatGPT, obviously, is writing faster than Private LLM. Like we said, is using $1 billion system server somewhere. I don't know where the server is writing from, and is creating all the content for us, except I'm having to be very involved in the writing process. It's one of the reasons why I created a private LLM, because I don't have to be so involved. I don't have to be so involved with creating the content. Um, the AI does the work because I've coded into private LLM different steps and concepts and ways of thinking through the content, just like I would think about the content when I'm trying to write the article myself. Um, so this allows private LLM to have a better flow of the concepts, um, touch on more important points, making sure that if you were to take each section out, you are getting something very, very useful. Whereas ChatGPT, the whole concept is discussing is useful, but there's going to be a lot of fluff in between concepts, just by nature of the process we are having to use to write it. We'll take a concept and we expand. Whereas with private LLM, we're actually getting maybe within that process, we're getting maybe 13, 12 concepts, 12 um, minor concepts to help enlarge the bigger concept of the trap of keeping the peace. So how maintaining peace can unintentionally harm your mental health. So that's the title private LLM come up, which is quite intriguing. Let's look at the title we got out of ChatGPT: The Peacekeeper's Paradox, Understanding How Compromise Can Become a Mental Health Trap. So that's our title. I want you to watch this for a second. Watch this. So let's just compare the beginnings. First of all, what are the yes, you'd say I'm a bit biased towards private LLM because yes, it's my baby. But let's look at this for a second. So this is what I came up with ChatGPT: The Peacekeeper's Paradox, Understanding How Compromise Can Become a Mental Health Trap. Well, the headline is interesting. I wouldn't write a headline like that because I think it's a little too wordy and a little too clunky. Worthy and clunky. That's how it feels to me, right? Okay, but let's look at this. How maintaining peace can unintentionally harm your mental health. How maintaining peace can unintentionally harm your mental health. That feels a lot more straightforward, clear, and catchy. I mean, they are both saying the same thing. Personally, I would go for this type of heading than that. Okay, so let's see how this starts. This is the almost like cookie cutter process. In the intricate dance of human relationships, the role of a peacekeeper is often viewed as a mark of selflessness and emotional maturity. The peacekeeper, driven by a desire for harmony, frequently sacrifices personal needs and opinions to maintain a semblance of collective calm. Wow. Community camp. While this approach is lauded for its benevolence and consideration, it often conceals an underlying struggle, a relentless quest to avoid a conflict at all cost. It's almost as if I'm watching an old an old English video or movie, using all these quests, benevolence, consideration, Um, okay, I jest, but if I was going to use this, I would need to kind of edit this and remove quite a lot of things. First, I'll remove that. I'd like to start with the role of a peacekeeper is often viewed as a mark of selflessness and emotional maturity. It's a good start. The peacekeeper driven by desire for harmony frequently sacrifices personal needs. Okay, so that's how it started. The way it started before, I'd say it's putting me to sleep a little bit. Yeah. Let's see what Private LLM comes up with. Are you constantly striving for peace, even if it means sacrificing your emotional needs? It's a common misconception that suppressing our emotional needs or always looking at the bright side is beneficial for our mental health. However, research shows us that this may actually harm us in the long run. In this article, we'll explore how maintaining an unbalanced focus on peace can hinder personal growth and emotional well-being. By understanding this potential risk, you'll be better equipped to maintain a healthy balance between peace and self-expression for your mental health. That is a striking introduction. If this is a problem I have and I read that introduction, I will be more likely to be tempted to want to read more. Yes, I'll be tempted to want to read more. Having to follow this process that this whole introduction that ChatGPT gave me here feels a little too weighty. It feels like I'm about to embark on a textbook reading, whereas this seems like a interesting journey, interesting reading that I will be intrigued by. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Right. I don't have time to go through the whole article for this. I'm going to be using this one on my website because I really like the way it's come out. So, final words. Which is better? Yes, I'm biased. I think private LLM content is way, way better. Can I get this type of content out of ChatGPT? Definitely. By using different types of prompting and going actually more in depth in my process of maybe getting it to write an outline properly first, making sure the outline then produces exactly the kind of things I want. I can sort of coax this type of article from ChatGPT. However, it's going to take me a lot longer. If I wanted to get this exact type of article, it's going to take me more than the 33 minutes it took Private LLM to write this. I hope that makes sense. You can see how valuable it is to have an article writer like Private LLM that's not just writing anything, but writing something that's really high quality. And it's doing that, it's doing that costing you nothing else but the electricity you're using to run your PC. So if you're interested in buying Private LLM, the link is in the description and it just costs you £10. All I'm charging is £10. So you can have that opportunity to write this type of quality content using open source large language models on your private PC without needing to rely on costly API tokens or even rely on something like ChatGPT. You can do that all in the comfort of your own home, comfort of your own PC, whilst carrying on with other jobs. So that brings us to the end of this experiment. Has this been useful? If yes, this is about I hate doing, but I have to do, otherwise YouTube would not see my channel. If this is useful, please like, subscribe, and share this content. Help my channel grow. So as I'm helping you, you're also helping me. We're helping each other. And when we help each other, we can all grow together. Thank you. Bye.